Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Smullin. Just going to take a few minutes right now to show you some ideas for creating a Jiji the Penguin comic strip. This is something I'm going to show you. You can just do it on a piece of paper. Again, whatever paper you can find. Hopefully you have some white paper of some sort, computer paper, or you're using the back of some old school work, or maybe something has come in the mail, junk mail. You can make use of that. And then I'm also going to just quickly show you an internet site. I haven't really used it much, but those of you that are computer savvy and really like doing things on the computer, you might enjoy designing your own Jiji math comic strip that way. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just the example I made this morning, just of a silly little comic about Jiji and having some problems with the dice problem. So you can see I just have it right here in my sketchbook. And how I started was first planning out how many cells I was going to need for the entire comic. So what I mean by cell is each part of the math problem you are going to solve is going to need its own little square. So you can see I have some that are more vertical rectangles and some that are horizontal. You could have your cells be circular if you wanted. So maybe I might have the title of my next comic being more of a circle, in the first slide be a rectangle. Think about when you read a book, we usually read from left to right. So for people to be able to follow along, you do want to think about how you plan out where your cells for your comic strip are going to go. Something else to be aware of is you need to know what your math word problem is. If it's a word problem that has 3 steps, then you definitely want to have at least 3 boxes, but you might want one as an introduction and then one more as a conclusion. So that would be 5 cells. So with this video, I give some step-by-step directions as to how you need to plan out your word problem first and then start laying it out on a piece of paper, or maybe you are going to even need a second piece for your your math comic strip. So Jiji definitely wants to be one of the characters in this, but you can also use other comic strip, comic book like type characters that you might like from a graphic novel you're reading. But I wanted to show you a trick. So if you don't want to have to keep redrawing the same exact figure, here's a little trick I learned, is if you want to reuse a similar image, as let's say I drew Jiji on this separate piece of scrap paper that I just had from another project I was doing earlier, and all I'm doing is taking my pencil and just rubbing a lot of the lead on the back and then laying the piece of paper down where I might want my Jiji to go, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to outline, trace over where I've already drawn Jiji before. And I don't necessarily want all of Jiji maybe in this slide here, but when I lift it up, you can see there's a faint outline so that I can just go back and then trace right over where Jiji is. So if you find success with your characters and you don't want to have to keep redrawing them over and over again, that is something fun you can try. Again, just drawing it on a separate piece of paper using your pencil on the back. Now there's one more thing I wanted to show you, is there's a website that I've also included, and like I was saying, I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, but it's called canva.com and it's with the directions, canva.com. And you can have an adult sign you up. It's a free website. And as you can see, it says you can design anything. If you go and click templates, it gives you all sorts of things. But how I discovered is I just went into the little search bar and put comic strip. And it gives you all sorts of different templates that you can use. There's of, and again, I haven't played around with it much, so you'd click on one, and it kind of gives you the characters. You can change them around. Over on the sidebar here, you can click on all sorts of different elements where you can search for other different images to put in there. So that was kind of fun, but if I go back to home here for a second, I can go over, I actually have one that started over here. So I just used a blank template for this, and for adding text, you hit the text here and it gives you different fonts and headings. The penguin, I believe I actually searched on Google, copied the image and pasted it in here, but there is a search engine for photos, so you can search a certain photo possibly to add to it. So if you're interested in doing something more digitally, you're welcome to explore this website, and it should allow you, if you go up here to file, it will allow you to download it. And when you download it, you can then on our assignment, you can go into the little paper clip before you hit the turn in button, and you can upload your comic strip that you create this way. So you don't have to use the computer. If you prefer more working like me, Mrs. Smullin, who's not quite, so digitally inclined right now, but I am playing around with that one, you can definitely create a paper copy. You can add color to it if you would like. Remembering there are different things around your house that you can use to add color if you don't have paint. But again, see what you can come up with too if you want to try out this canva.com. So I look forward to seeing some comic strips that you create, of course, math related. So you do want to be thinking about math problems that you're working on right now. But I look forward to seeing the art you incorporate with Jiji and math. Take care. Bye.